Why, sir, do you think it's city? Mr. Roff, could you please answer Mr. Frizzelli? And I understand that you're both on the same ground, but what do you think about what he's saying?
I think there's some accuracy there. I Neither Vance nor Musk are grew up in Silicon Valley. They're certainly products of Silicon Valley, but J.D. Vance is also the author of the book Hillbilly Elegy, which is like what it's like to grow up in extreme poverty in the Appalachian part of the United States in the Central South. And Elon Musk, of course, was born and raised in South Africa. So I think that that their view is a little bit wider. But I do think that there was a bubble, a cultural bubble, that affected the behavior of the tech companies as far as their partisan giving and
What's this culture
other
bubble, sir?
electoral activities are concerned.
Sorry to
I'm sorry?
interrupt you, but could you please explain more? What's this culture bubble?
The cultural bubble. Okay. Well, Silicon Valley means San Jose and San Francisco. And the social values of those communities are much more open, permissive, skeptical about religion, serious about climate change than much of the rest of America. Just as a few examples. This is why Musk and others are trying to capitalize some similar Silicon Valley type innovation hubs in places like Texas, where they're not God skeptic, they're climate change skeptic, and where they have greater respect for what American politicians would refer to as traditional family values than they do in a place like San Francisco. And that manifests itself in who works for the companies and the behaviors about what they censor and what they don't censor and what they regard as net good and net bad. But we're in an exciting time, and we need to eschew, and I think we have started to do that, the censorship that was occurring in big tech, where liberal ideas got bumped up on search engine optimization and conservative ideas were shadow banned or suppressed, at least here in the United States. And I confine my comments to what happens, excuse me, in the United
It's okay.
States, because that's the area I know best.
So you
I
said
do know
San
that
Jose. You said
yeah,
San Jose in California.
San Jose is in California, near to San
I know. Yes,
Francisco.
I know San Jose is
It's
in
all the
California.
It's all the San Francisco Bay Area. Yes,
Yes. When you said the culture bubble, you mentioned San Jose
and San Francisco.
and San
Yes,
Francisco, which San Jose is in.
they're right next to each other.
Okay, Mr. Frizzelli, do you want to comment on Mr. Roff, or in what ways do current U.S.-China economic tensions hinder or enhance America's position as the global leader in artificial intelligence innovation?
Yeah, I'm aware of time, so I'll
And of
comment,
course, you
I'll
have the right to
reply.
comment on Mr. Roff.
I'll reply and also reply fully to your previous question, which I haven't had the chance to do. So I'll do that very quickly. So I think Mr. Roth is right. Culture plays a big part. Adding to what he said and replying to your question, we have that image of Californian counterculture, right? So the idea was on campuses in California in the early 60s, you have a new culture which emerged, counterculture. It's against the mainstream, very left-wing, liberal, libertarian, etc., peaceful, pacifist. All that is true. And I know Berkeley is still there as a symbol of that early 60s California culture. But it wasn't only that. So the perception, the idea that people have is true. It used to be very liberal and left-wing, but not only. And so it's linked to the Silicon Valley. So we have the idea of the Silicon Valley of young, crazy teenagers out of high school, in their garage, in the parking lot. They create a new experimental object, widget. And because of the geniuses, and there's a lot of private venture capital money, it becomes, Apple or the next Tesla or the next Google.
Mr. Fisley, I just want to ask Mr. Roff in 10 seconds if he wants to say anything before we wrap up this episode. Unfortunately, it's a very interesting one that I wanted to stay more with you and know more, and all the viewers, of course, understand more about what's going. But do you want to wrap up this episode saying anything?
It's been a fascinating conversation. I'm sorry we couldn't stay on the
It's my
issue
utmost
of China,
pleasure, sir.
There's so much going on here that's exciting to talk about, and I hope that you will have us back to talk about it some more. But
we're going to be with you again, sir, and we're going to continue this conversation because we have to understand more about it, and all the viewers all around the world have to understand what U.S. President Donald Trump is, of course, his policy in all respects, and we have to understand what's going on globally.
If I can just one word, so there always was a lot of government money from Washington, D.C., from the Pentagon and the White House funding the Silicon Valley right from the start, 50, 60 years ago. So that was present at the heart of the Valley. Not only these geeks and entrepreneurs, government money was there to fund tech, U.S. high tech.